Hello everyone. In this video here I'm doing a basic review video on what I think of iOS 7 so far. Now this was requested based on my previous video, the app I just recently created. Uh, what I have here, this is my phone. I have a iPhone 4, and I know some of the options which are available for the new ISO 7 are available on the newer models but aren't available on the older models of the iPhone, as the parallax view on your screen. Basically what that is, almost gives like somewhat of a 3D effect, and I don't actually have this option available for me, as well as the panoramic camera, which I'll show you in a minute. I've had it for about a week. I've been using it constantly, and so far it has grown on me quite a bit. I do find it's a lot easier to navigate around on the phone itself, and I was a little questionable about the new color scheme, but I found that I have grown a liking to it already. I know some opinions may vary with that aspect of it. It's basically starting up the phone here. We'll come into the lock screen. We can still access our camera down on the right hand bottom corner here. We'll just swipe up, and which accessing the different modes here, you can see right there I don't have the panoramic view available for this. We do have a square option available, so it's not the regular rectangular version of the photos it does take. I guess they just did a square version based on for Instagram photos. So you can swipe to the left here, you go photo, and then we'll swipe to the left again, and we can do a video function. Now moving back here to the lock screen, we now have this little tab on the bottom here you can see, so if you swipe upwards, we can access a mini control panel. So we do have a list of options along the top which we can turn on or off. We have the airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb function, as well as lock the orientation. Now another function I do really like is you can access right away here is the brightness of your screen, so we can go brighter or darker based on what your personal preference is. Now I find this is a lot easier, especially on a sunny day. You'll have the glare on the screen, and you do have to go through the settings and navigate through that in order to access this function. Now we still do have the playback settings as when we would double click on the home button here, basically same style, as well as the volume control, and along the bottom here we'll have the flashlight function. Now we can't control the brightness of the flashlight or the if you want a strobe light with the flashlight just to turn on and off the LED on the front of the phone itself. We also do have a timer here, you can see. Going back, we also have a calculator function. You can see we do have the simple view of the calculator, and if we go the other way, we have the scientific version of the calculator itself. So going along the bottom here again, we can also access the camera as well through that little control panel that does pop up. Now going back to the lock screen, we can also access our calendar, whatever our missed messages are here. So here's the calendar itself. Then we can do all, so that's basically viewing both calendar and missed messages, and you can just see the missed messages. Now I believe this is controllable through the settings on your phone of what is viewable through this. I'll close it up. Now, unlike the previous version, we can go through and we can slide anywhere on the screen in order to access the keypad to unlock the phone here. You can see the keypad is a lot larger than previously. Just going into the phone here. So you can see the layout is a lot different, especially with the functions along the bottom here, as well as all the coloring. It tends to be a little more vibrant than opposed to before. Now, just as I mentioned in the lock screen here, you can still access that control panel along the bottom here. So there's your flashlight, calculator, timer, your photos, your brightness, and all that. Closing that back up. We can also access your missed messages. You can do all, so that's everything that's included, as well as your calendar here. And another function, instead of going all the way to the left, when we swipe to the left, we would hit the spotlight function to search the phone. We can just hit anywhere on the screen here, not going all the way to the top. You have to go just briefly down from the top, and we can search through the phone anything you want to search. Now moving along, basically we can swipe back and forth between all your pages depending on how many pages you have of apps. Now another function I also like is with the folders here. Before I would have to have multiple folders. Say I do have quite a bit of games on here, and say for racing games here I would have to have different folders in order to hold all my racing games. Well, instead of that, I can put all the apps into one racing game folder, and I can swipe through the folders itself like so, which does make it a lot easier. Now as for photos here, photos have changed a little bit. We can do just the generic photos folder, and you can see here, just scrolling through, it does break it up by dates, and I believe it does also break it up by locations here. And you can see it does break it up by locations, and what you do, if you do click on the locations, it'll pop up a map and show you where those photos have been taken based on the GPS. So if we go to collections at the top here, it does kind of broaden the search up a little bit. It almost gives between months of searching here. So you can see it does have a very wide range, and again it breaks it up into location as well as dates here. So going back to years, it does even do a larger search again, and it's just based on years of the photos were taken or the location the photo was taken, as you can see on the right hand side there. So you can click on this, you can see, you can zoom in, go again, it works like so. Now moving back to albums, albums are basically just the same as they were before. Go through, click on the album, you can see, just scroll through. Now we can select the stuff just basically as before. And we can go through, we can delete them, we can add to, which would be adding to a new album, or we can search it based on, we can send it in a text message, do an iCloud, Facebook, Flickr. We can also copy these photos. So if you want to send an email, you just basically copy all the photos and open up a new email, click on the background, and you just do the paste function instead. So moving back, so as for apps running in the background, what you do is double click on your home button just as before, and you can see the apps running in the background. It's a little different style. So you do have the full version of the app you can view just instead of the icon along the bottom. You can scroll through, you can see what you have, and in order to delete those apps running in the background, what we want to do is click on the screen and swipe upwards like so. You can see that closes everything. Now as for Safari, the internet browser, it has changed also. Just going back into here, we can see we do just have our normal search page here. So we want to view multiple pages, depending on how many pages you have open. It kind of gives you a 3D effect here, and gives you a small preview of what each page looks like. So it does make it a little easier, depending if you're searching between pages, you know what you have opened. And I do find it a little nicer to navigate through. Let's see. So you can see how that works there. Now moving back to the settings function here, another little thing I like to, it makes it a little easier to navigate through. Say if you want to click on general settings here, we can go back and click on settings and just go back to the main settings page, or what we can do is we can swipe to the right, and you see it does bring you back. So it does make it a little easier to navigate through. I do like this a lot better. So this concludes the rest of my review video. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to post them below, as well as subscribe to my channel for further tutorial videos on other things. This was just kind of a one-off thing of a review video for myself of just something that was requested. And please rate this video. Thank you for watching.